Folomov is a newer flashlight and charging company that has put out many new products in late 2017. This is the first of their products that I've had a chance to take a look at. It's the EDC4, and it's more than just a flashlight. It's a power bank too. Thanks to Folomov for sending me this light to take a look at. This light is made from a black anodized aluminum. The anodizing is smooth and it has a gloss fit to it. The tail cap is flat, as you can see here, and non-magnetic. It will tail stand on the cap just fine. The knurling on this light is a fine square pattern. The clip is removable, but not reversible. The head is just ever so slightly larger, as you can see by looking down the barrel there. You have the main button here, and then opposite that you have the USB charging port. This cover lifts up, and there is where you charge. And this is one area I'll mention later, but I think this is a potential area for stress. As you can see, it's kind of white and deforming already. I'm worried about this cover ripping off over time. This light is only rated for IPX6, meaning it's rated for rain or high pressure water, but not full submersion. The lens is slightly recessed and has fairly thick glass. It does not look like it's anti-reflective coated, and the reflector is smooth below with the LED that is nicely centered in the middle. I measured this light at 100 millimeters in length. Width at its narrowest is 22.5 millimeters, and at its widest 25.5. And if I compare it to the Claris ST10 here, which I just reviewed, the lights are very similar. They both are USB rechargeable, are both over 1,000 lumens, and you can see there the EDC C4 is just a little bit shorter. The clips are also very similar. If you'd enjoyed this video so far, please make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. Doing so helps me to continue to make videos like this for you. I did have a few cosmetic issues with the C4 that I received. First, this rubber cap here, as you can see, it looks like it's just lifting up barely. And I've tried to push it back, and that's improved it, but it's still not 100%. The manufacturer sent me some pictures of how that's designed, and it's really more of a cosmetic feel thing than a waterproof thing. Either way, I wish it was fixed. Then the other thing you might notice here is that the flats don't line up with the buttons here. I believe it's supposed to be made like this, but when you do so, you can't turn the light off because it loses electrical contact. So it looks like maybe the machine that made this was just off just a tad when it was making threads. I'm not sure. Function-wise, though, as long as it's tight, everything here works just fine. I did run the faucet over this light and didn't have any problem with water ingression either. This light uses a Cree XPL LED in cool white. It has a fairly large dome on it, and it's got a pronounced hot spot with minimal spill. I didn't notice any tint casts or major artifacts in the beam. Runtime did decrease significantly after about 3 minutes on my runtime graph. I believe this is a timer for turbo mode. After the light ran on high for another 105 minutes roughly, it slowly decreased in output. At this point, it was a full decline to zero relative output. The light does have low voltage protection on the battery that shut the light off to stop damaging the battery. I measured that at 3.2 volts when the low level kicked in. I wanted to just show you some beam shots here from the table, and this is, you can see it's got a hot center. If I go back out, if I come back in, you can see it's really that hot center with minimal spill. Here are the night shots for the EDC4. This is 10 lumens low, and very hard to see anything over about 15 feet. Camera doesn't cover any of that. What you can see is the button glows nice and green here while in operation. If I bump up, this is low. Starts to throw nicely. Bumping up again, medium. So this is top mode. And this is pretty good. It doesn't throw beyond the trees like we've seen from other lights. But for about 75, 80 feet, 100 feet, it does a nice job. If I double click, I get the modes, double click again, get another bright blinking mode, and then get beacon as the last mode. And this is a fade in, fade out. The UI on this light starts on its lowest mode, which is 10 lumens, goes to medium at 75 lumens, high at 200 lumens, and then turbo at 1200 lumens. If you keep pressing the mode button, it starts going down in reverse order, so 1200, 200, 75, and 10. Mode spacing I think could be improved, as there's quite a bit of difference between 200 and 1200 lumens. Something in the middle there would be great. This light also has a strobe, SOS, and beacon function, and you can get those by double-clicking the power button. To change within strobe, you've got to double-click. If you click once, you'll exit that mode. This light does have a lockout mode if you fast triple-click to lock or unlock. I spent a decent amount of time with this light using it as a power bank, which is its other main feature, charging my phone and other devices. This is the included cable you get, and it's kind of unique. First side you have a micro USB, and then you have the full-size male USB and a female USB. So to charge the flashlight, you would just plug the micro USB in and plug this into a power bank or a wall charger, your computer, whatever you want, and the light will charge. When doing so, you get a red LED underneath here that flashes, and when it is full, it goes green. But to use this light as a power bank, you leave the micro USB plugged in, then you plug in your device. So I've got a power meter here that I've shown on previous reviews, and I'm going to use it as my load in this case. So to charge something from it, you just plug in your meter, and it comes on. It's got power flowing here, and then I'd plug in my phone or other device. So let me get another USB cable that I'll plug in here. So you can see here my phone is charging, and this is a little bit slower than what I saw. I was able to charge an old Note 4 from 20 to 94% battery on the included cell, which is pretty impressive considering this light only had a 2600 milliamp hour cell. When I measured the USB power meter function like I've got hooked up now, I could charge at 1.2 amps on a phone that was severely discharged. The phone I've got right now is sitting above 80% power, so that's why it's not pulling the full 1.2 amps. When I measured everything out using this meter, it showed 6.48 watt hours is the amount of power it could put into the device. When the light shut down charging, the battery I measured at 3.13 volts, and the flashlight got decently warm when I was charging my phone at 96 degrees Fahrenheit with a non-contact thermometer. And when charging, the flashlight can act as a flashlight still. So let me turn it on here and show you that. It is a reduced output, but it's good that it has the ability to at least produce some light. One thing I forgot to mention, when charging this flashlight, it can use normal flat top 18650 batteries or the included button top battery. It doesn't seem to matter. As an EDC flashlight, I'd say this is a really decent flashlight for how small it is. It offers quite a few features. Being an 18650, it does have a bit of girth to it though, and it's certainly on the smaller side for an 18650 light. Similar here to this Claris that I was talking about earlier. The clip will rotate on the body, but it's fairly stiff, so it's not a huge issue for me. I do wish they would get rid of this slight ledge here and make it a ramp instead so it doesn't get caught in your pants. That said, this clip is pretty good and looks pretty similar to the Claris as well, nearly identical. Due to the long time it takes to press and turn on this light, I didn't have a problem with this light turning on in my pocket. However, there is lockout mode, or you can always quarter turn it just a little bit. The package just came in was a full retail box. The box is black and orange with a combination of important specifications on the rear and sides. Inside is the plastic tray that the light comes in. It includes the light, as noted, the Folomov branded 18650 battery that's 2600 milliamp hours, the proprietary and unique charging cable, some instructions, and a lanyard. No holster is included. So for me, the pros are the small size. With this being a USB rechargeable light, it's just slightly longer than the MSR D4, which isn't USB rechargeable. It's got minimal branding on the light, which I like, and it can charge flat top batteries, button top batteries. They all seem to work as long as it's an 18650. Some cons are, it's got that uncommon and proprietary cable to use it as a power bank. I think it's prone to being lost. The UI spacing could be better. There is no moonlight mode. I wish the flat body parts lined up with the buttons in my example. It seems to be an isolated issue, but my OCD bothers me about it. And the 2600 milliamp hour battery is low capacity for 2018, especially for a light that can act as a power bank. The ratings and runtimes given on the package and in the manual are for higher capacity 3400 milliamp hour battery, but that's not what it ships with. This is just a little bit deceitful and something I feel like Folomov should either change their ratings to the battery that it actually ships with or upgrade their battery. My conclusion is this is a pretty compact flashlight for using an 18650 battery and being a USB rechargeable power bank. When I was using this as a power bank on my phone, I was able to charge at 1.2 amps for quite a while. This did this. The body got warm but not dangerously hot, and the light will work when charging or being used as a power bank at reduced output. I do wish it came with a larger capacity cell, as I've mentioned, especially for use as a power bank. And I like that you can use any type of battery. No proprietary cells are required. For the money and output and features, I think this is a pretty good value. Thanks for watching this review. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. It helps me to bring more content like this to you.